Good morning, chaps. It's Ben Wheeler, and
Deuce.
today I want to talk about my extreme addiction to coffee. It's just fucking crazy. As you know, I've made videos about coffee many times, several times, and you know me. I'm a failed addict. I keep coming back to the coffee over and over and over again. I say I'm going to quit, and then I fail. And the reason for this is my feelings always get in the way. But luckily, humans will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. So the only route that will really work for me is avoiding potential pain. And I've decided that the only remedy for this is to put my money on the line, put my money where my mouth is. And I failed with this before because I made that challenge with Craig where I said I'll give him $80 if I don't drink coffee, and it worked for about 2 months. But then I started getting a little bit more bank, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just give him the money. And I gave him the money. I'm a man of my word in that regard. But now I have to up the ante. I'm going to put $200 on the line. So if I fail, if I drink coffee, Deuce is getting $200. So it's the only way to make me quit.
Yeah. You tried many other ways, but...
Yeah, and the longest I've quit is 4 months at a time. But I really want to take this seriously, and I want to be true straight edge. So the only way I'm going to do it is by putting big money on the line.
Because every time you start coffee again, you tell yourself, no, it's okay, I can manage my urges, but
there's no managing it. As soon as I have one, it's game over. I just want it all the fucking time. I'm addicted to coffee.
It's like alcohol.
No, for me,
problems.
coffee is like sex. You know, I almost can't go without it. It's crazy.
But we try to put sex on the line, but
yeah, that's
not fun.
That's not painful enough. I need to. There has to be a bigger motivator for me, and for me, that's money. You know, because that's my weakest link. So if I lose money, you know, it's difficult for me. It's hard enough. So that pain is more than the pleasure of drinking coffee, for sure.
Because you have many reasons to stop coffee.
Yeah, but it's not painful enough.
Yeah,
it's not painful enough. So I have to make it extremely painful to quit. So anyway.
I don't know if you guys have any tips for him. Maybe.
No, they've given me tips. I just wasn't enough, you know. So I know what's going to work. So it's the only thing that's going to work for now.
Yeah, blah blah blah. No, we need to prove it.
Yeah.
Be strong.
I'll be strong.
You're stronger than you think.
Well, I'm forced to be strong now because I'm put in a corner. There's no other way. It's crazy. It's crazy how addicted I am to this drug.
Yeah.
This socially accepted drug. The Black Death.
Legal drug.
What else can we say? What happens to me when I drink coffee?
And
what happens to my personality?
Your mood goes yo-yo. Like
yeah.
Sometimes you want to smash work and smash sex and smash everything.
Yeah, I'm just all over the place.
And then when the coffee effect is gone, and
then I just want to sleep.
You're gone.
I'm just a horizontal man after that.
And then you want coffee again. Like, of course, you know.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is don't rely on external substances to get through the day. Rely on your internal ability to get it fucking done.
Yeah, never start having coffee, cigarettes, and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, just like don't even start drugs at all.
Because the addiction is so strong.
Yeah, you might not get addicted, but something is going to hook you eventually. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's alcohol, if it's pharmaceutical drugs or recreational drugs, something will hook you eventually.
Yeah, stay clean.
I mean, even sex addiction can be bad, even though it's a natural thing. It can actually ruin a relationship if you just orgasm too much. So yeah, that's another thing we can talk about.
That's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic. Yeah, we'll keep the surprises. We'll release them intermittently. Release. Pun intended, or not intended, whatever. Okay.
That's it.
So this is what that 7-Eleven rice looks like mixed with some white rice. It may not look like much, but it does taste incredible. Manny Nitro for a snack.
Paul, what are you doing during the day when you are not on your bike?
So when I come back from a ride, usually in the mornings, I'll start work on the computer, whether it's working on my ebook. You can see there's the ebook.
Yep.
And I've got my goals over there. I set like 5 goals at a time, so it's not so that I don't divert my energy into too many things at once. And yeah, I either work on my ebook, I write articles, make a YouTube video. As long as it's just like really productive work and I get closer to my goals, then I've succeeded for the day. It might not sound like many hours, but it's like really intense work. It requires my focus 100%. And yeah, you should always do your work before play, but a lot of the times we fail because we have to be our own bosses. So I'm sure some of you can relate to that. You can relate to that, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, she works as a translator and sometimes she likes to play before she works, but you have to crack the whip on yourself because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, you need discipline.
Yeah, so if I can just get my 2 hours every day, I'm sorted and I'm a happy guy. So yeah, create the life that you want to live. Right, so just got back from the ride. It was a good interval session and I only have 600 calories of fruit available, so I'm just going to have the next best thing, which is 600 calories of white sugar, and mix this with water, fill it up, and yeah, it's good for recovery. Ultimate recovery drink. Today was the Kham reps, and even though I only did 4 of them, it was still a significantly hard session, as I haven't done any intervals for just over 2 months. Off the Asian bike tour, that was the last hard riding, so I've been slacking for a while, and it's good to finally pick it up again. You can see here that I only rode an hour and a half today, and the plan was to ride 2 hours. The reason for that is because I rode 3¼ hours yesterday, so it was longer than I planned to do. So I ride a little bit less today. But it's fine because I got the work done and that's what counts. Then you can see 1,100 calories burnt, so a good amount of calories for the ride. Average power 201 watts, normalized power 279 watts. And it's normal to have quite a huge difference between your average power and your normalized power when you are doing intervals, just because the pace is so varied. If we have a look at the analysis here, you can see that for the first 2 intervals, my interval to recovery ratio was 1:1. So the interval is about 4.5 minutes and the recovery was about 4.5 minutes. And between the second and the third interval, the interval to recovery ratio was 1:2. So the interval was 4.5 and the recovery was 8 minutes. And then again, same thing for interval 3 and 4, as with interval 1 and 2. The recovery ratio is 1:1. And it's normal if you're going to have less recovery between the intervals, that the wattage is going to be lower, obviously, for the second interval and for the fourth interval. And if you lengthen the recovery time, you can get pretty close to max wattage again. So when you stop intervals, when the wattage drops 10% below your best one, then you know it's a good time to just cruise home and chill. If we have a look here at the overview, you can see what the actual wattage was for all the segments. I warmed up on the first one just at 300 watts, so a nice tempo warm up. And the reason for that is just because I had like 15 minutes of riding by the time I got to Kham, so I just wanted to warm up a little bit more. And yeah, just cruised up their tempo. And then the next one was 401 watts for the first effort, and that got me a time of 4 minutes 35. That's with the pump and the tube and everything, so no TT today. I'm also a little bit heavier than when I did my best, 70 kilos. At my best I was 66 kilos. And if we scroll down, yeah, we see the second one. Big difference between the first and the second one due to the short recovery time, only 373 watts, so about 28 watts difference there. And you can see in the time it's almost 20 seconds slower. And my minimum for zone 5 is 365, and that's the minimum for the highest threshold wattage that I've done. Like I said, I use my highest threshold for my training. And here we can see the third one. We had a long recovery time, 8 minutes, and the wattage goes back up to 402 watts, and same time as the first one. And then the final one was 365 watts. So yeah, I was pretty much in the deep end there, just barely hanging on to the minimum. So that's today's training. It was a good session, and hopefully by the end of it, I'll be pushing 450 watts for the first interval, 450 to 470, and I'll be doing consistently on the high end of the zone 5. At that time we got rice and some greens. What's this green?
Morning Glory.
Morning Glory. That's an interesting name for green.
It's interesting
and,
for the evening.
Yeah. And the soy sauce is diluted 1:2, so 1 part soy sauce for 2 parts water. It just gives the rice a little bit more water so you can digest it better. So nice healthy meal, and it's my greens for the week.